Hello and welcome, Your Excellencies, Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, and of course to our viewers online. My name's Lisa Burke. It's a great pleasure to be your host today.
Mission-driven research and applications, best-in-class talent, and state-of-the-art facilities unique in Europe will be the keys to the success of ESRIC. But of course, we cannot do this alone. And therefore, ESRIC will team up with public and private international institutions promoting open innovation in space resources for Europe in what I hope will become an interconnected ecosystem of international stakeholders. I'm confident that it will give rise to scientific, technological and entrepreneurial outcomes that truly have the potential to drive game-changing innovation in both space and non-space applications.
It takes just 3 days to reach the moon from Earth. And once there, less than 2 seconds for communications to make the journey home. On the moon, we have the natural resources needed to sustain a long-term human presence. All of this makes it the ideal base for missions further into space.
Ladies and gentlemen, ESRIC not only perfectly fits into Space Resources Point.lu initiative of the Luxembourg government. ESRIC will also become a trusted actor for the implementation of the national research strategy and research priorities. The strategic partnership between ESRIC and ESA opens up a further international perspective and will at the same time contribute to the national research actors to become a widely recognized location for research and innovation in Europe.
Robots and autonomous systems will be needed to help humans build a self-sustaining base. Fortunately, many of the raw materials required to construct this lasting human presence can be found on the moon itself.
I must say I'm really happy that I can participate in the launch of European Space Resources Innovation Center, ESRIC, and coming back to the logo, yes, we want to power ESRIC, that's very clear. ESA has changed in its role. It's not only just an agency, it is now also a partner of industry.
Lunar water can be collected by melting regolith, or vaporizing ice known to exist in the permanent shadows of the moon's craters. The water is used for life support and irrigation of crops grown in greenhouses to feed lunar inhabitants.
The ability to extract and utilize space resources is the key to achieving sustainability and permanence. Like all other explorers throughout history, we must learn to live off the land. I want to compliment Luxembourg for its trailblazing work on space resource policy. This center is yet another example of Luxembourg's leadership in the field of space resources, both within Europe and throughout the world. Space resources also represent a new and dynamic arena for commercial development. 2 months ago, NASA announced a solicitation that is serving as a pilot program for the agency to purchase space resources from commercial companies.
The moon is the logical next frontier, our stepping stone to the natural resources available on asteroids, Mars, and across the solar system.
Our mission is to push the frontiers in research, and space is really pushing the frontiers in research, but the applications can be more short to mid-term as well. Space is extreme, and that means that what we come up with in space is something that can often be used back on Earth.
I believe when all these discussions have taken place, also with the European Space Agency, we always had in mind the objective that we have here in Luxembourg is to develop the space sector from an economic point of view. From the start, we always have looked at it from the different dimensions of the ecosystem. That starts from education, goes through research, goes through innovation with industry, goes through financing and investment, as well as cooperation.
What is nice, I think, with ESRIC is that we have now very strong partners to start with. We also have a clear plan and a budget to realize this plan in the next 3 years, and that is actually very concrete. And I think that's with what we will start. So we will now very quickly set up first research teams, in particular parts of the space resource value chain, going from prospection, extraction to utilization and supplying space resource-based products. And so we'll start to put in place research activities right now. Then next year we will have another big milestone when we will launch the incubator that is part of ESRIC to support startups in this domain.
ESA and Luxembourg started discussion how we can increase our cooperation. And I think in discussion between Matthias and myself it became obvious if we really want to advance the topic of space resources, we would need to take a significant, visible and visionary step. And that was how we came about the European Space Resource Innovation Center, to really act as a global center of excellence and demonstrate really a long-term commitment of Luxembourg, but also ESA to advance this topic with a focus on really application-driven research. Space resources are critical for making space exploration sustainable. Transportation costs are the driving factor in exploration.
It's a great opportunity for us as one of the largest research centers in space in Europe to enter this and work together with our partners in Luxembourg, with ESA. And we do it a long time, it's not new, but within this center we have a lot of new opportunities to work together and develop technology more than doing only research. Yeah.
The pioneers of tomorrow's space industry are busy today, anticipating the needs of a fair and sustainable space-based economy.
If I was a young PhD student, I would immediately apply for ESRIC. I mean, this is a fantastic opportunity to join a team being built up in an innovation ecosystem, which I think is tremendous.
We will also look to additional partners. We talk with DLR, we have other talks as well with other space agencies and other public institutions and also industries. And of course, all together, we will try then to push this forward and to make ESRIC a success.